laws ever since. 100 years ago we was lynched. Now they use germ warfare to kill us. I'm convinced, got the evidence. I look around and it's evident. Then go down to City Hall and see so much negligence. Real art is intelligent. A true artist sends messages that speak to your intelligence. They fought and died so I can do my thing. Not to get drunk and high or join no gang. I will not let none of you die in vain. For my people I bang, bang, bang. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. They say post-traumatic slavery disorder's fake, but I just tell them all to wake up. Everything we went through, what a way down a rape, bro. Isn't our genetic makeup. So I am my ancestors from block to block. Let's build like it's Tetris. We must unite, link up like a necklace. They fought and died and we disrespected. So I come to correct it. The legacy they left I protected. We only think about self and neglected. You're African but yet you rejected. No. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. I do. I go.
Good evening. Here we go. I was about to say, what the rest of the crew? Here we go.
We're
Welcome
here,
back
man.
to
Where you
another
going over,
edition
beloved?
of New Freedom Exchange, your cultural expression for social dignity and community empowerment. I'm your host, Brother Dean. Who's this? This is Baby Dean right here. Come on in there.
Hey,
Baby
Dean.
Dean.
Welcome to the fold, man.
Yes,
So
we got
that's
Baby
our
Deen on with us.
Our guest co-host for the day, also with Sister Marsha.
Sister Marsha here. Assalamu alaikum. Peace, family.
Hello.
And of course-
Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. Imam Bilal Hassan here on a beautiful Monday. Yeah, dreary, but beautiful nevertheless.
Absolutely.
We're grateful to be here on another edition of New Freedom Exchange with you all. Happy Monday for those starting out the new week. But we want to end. We want to strong. What do you call it out? We don't want to call it week because it's probably on WEAK. We need a new word to define. We need to redefine our language. But anyway, nevertheless, happy to be here. Happy to be with the team, with the beautiful Sister Marsha, the beautiful Brother Deen. We're here. We're direct. You know what I mean? So how's everything going with you? With you guys, man?
I mean, pretty good day. It's dreary out, but that's okay. I mean, for me, that's like the best time to think and use your creative mind. You know, you have so much downtime, not so much is going on the outdoor side of things. So I particularly like rainy days. I know some people have issues with them because maybe they want to be outdoors doing a lot more, but I like them. How about you, Dean? What's going on with you?
As you can see.
And Baby Dean.
You got Baby Dean for the ride today, my beloveds.
Oh yeah, he just came back from the dinner. Look at that chip tooth. Look at the teeth. All them jokers coming out.
Hey, Dean.
Yeah, so we just taking it. The boys are inside the Barber Academy, Junior Barber Academy. So
nice.
I wasn't able to get inside the setup. So I said, well, let's do it right outside. And then I did want to introduce boom, what's allowed to his thing, this new publication called Black Wall Street, Pennsylvania.
Yes, I love that.
Pretty dope. They want to share the spirit of Black Wall Street back in Greenwood, Oklahoma. And us just reconnecting through our people. So some good we'll be promoting in the future.
And that newspaper circulates where?
Right now it's in Central PA.
Okay.
As we share with them our network, we're a national, international community.
Yes.
So we're going to look to try to also link up to our network as well. So
Nice.
coming
Okay.
soon. How about you, brother Imam? Bilal Hassan.
Well, there's blessings, grateful to be
Oh,
here.
time out. Y'all rocked it
What?
yesterday, man. I miss y'all guys. Y'all was doing your thing on the Unity Talene,
Uh-oh.
That was
Now
good.
that was a hum to do that. I thought that was like such a
Yeah,
great
that went well.
meeting. Yeah, I
That
thought
went
it was
well.
a really good meeting. It's not often that you get to bring generations together and have a point where one generation is able to express to the other how they see the current climate of where they are as a people, and so that was like an awesome opportunity, and I look forward to more opportunities for things like that.
Oh, definitely. I agree. Yesterday was beautiful. I think yesterday went well. I think it's a starting point again. Yes, I'm saying starting point to better conversation, better exchange, and healthy dialogue, and healthy productivity as we progress. So I think thank you to the organizers of that event, Imam Kudus out of Masjid Salahuddin in New Jersey, Imam Wahuddin Sharif, the convener for the Jersey State Council of Imams, and everyone else who were involved in making that happen. We definitely appreciate the invitation to share. So for me, today is just uh, today's just a day, man. I mean, just very thankful for just another day, another opportunity to be alive, to learn, to grow, just grow as a person, grow as an individual, and I think that we're getting close to hitting more milestones. More achievements. As you all know, this is Islamic Heritage Month still. In the last few days of the month, last few days of Domestic Violence Month, and also last few days of Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well. And I'd like to give a shout out again to Sister Maxine Salam, one of our treasured pioneers in this community out of New Jersey as well, who was a four-time breast cancer beater. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Shout out to Sister Maxine.
Yeah, she has a beautiful presentation.
Alhamdulillah.
She has a beautiful presentation online on our Facebook page. If you get a chance, go check it out. As she talks about what changes in her diet that she had to make and her lifestyle that she had to make in order to heal herself. She does give credit to Dr. Sebe, the late Dr. Sebe, as well for the research and the work that he put in. And also just the beating of the big pharma. It's not going to chemo, not going to those treatments that weaken your immune system, and there's not really efficient for us as humans to be going through those procedures when there are other healthy alternatives to those procedures. So definitely check it out. And yeah, we're excited for a good exchange today. We have a very special guest with us, who's in the background on the backstage right now, who's just joined us. And we have the honor of our beloved sister Marsha to do the honor to introducing our sister before we bring her on.
Absolutely. So this evening we have for you Diahni Sample. She is a 21-year-old inspirational speaker. And I'm going to repeat that again. Sis is 21 years old, okay? We have another dynamo. I was going to say dynamo, but I'm going to call her Dynama, okay? We got another Dynama in the building. She's a 21-year-old inspirational speaker, author, and business mentor that teaches women of all ages self-love, healing within, and positive mindsets for entrepreneurship. She is inspired to motivate the queens of her generation to see and treat themselves as queens in all aspects of life. She is currently interested in collaborating with different podcasts to promote to her audience while encouraging them to use podcasts as tools for their self-learning journeys. And so without further ado, we're going to bring my sister in, Diahni Sample.
Let's bring her in. There she is.
Hey,
She's on mute.
welcome to the show.
Hey, come off from mute, sis. Come off. We want to hear you.
Hi,
There you
nice to meet you
go.
guys.
Nice to meet you as well. Glad to have
Yes,
you on. Beautiful
thank you
smile,
for
beautiful
having me.
smile.
Thank you.
So always first, we like to give our guests, special guests, room to introduce themselves the way that they want to introduce themselves. We've
Okay.
read your small bio, but for those who are not familiar with you, please
Okay.
tell the world who is Diahni Sample.
So Diahni Sample, that's me, of course. I'm 21 years old. I've been an inspirational speaker for 3 years. I started when I was 18, and I've been speaking to my generation, my peers, ever since. I have 3 books that I wrote: an ebook for business, a self-love guide for young women, and then a manifestation journal. That's a combination of self-love and business together that came out this year. I am also the owner of a new branding company called the Female Boss Collection, and it's a collection of apparel, resources, and just business services that help young women who want to start businesses and don't know where to start. I'm your one-on-one guide. So that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. That's who I am, and I'm just excited to be here.
Nice, nice. And so why this journey? Why is this your path? Where did it all start?
It all started when I graduated high school. My original plan was to go to school, get my 4-year degree, get my bachelor's degree in communications, and to become a journalist. That was the original dream. That's what I hoped for all of my years. But I joined a program called Dynamic Speakers. I'm in New York, and I joined a program called Dynamic Speakers. And with that program, I did public speaking competitions for 2 years. The first time I won second place, and then the second time I won first. And then I was like, I really like this. Like this doesn't feel forced. It's not scary. It's fun. I love speaking. I love helping. And from there, I did not know that I was creating a foundation for my generation. I didn't know that I was becoming an entrepreneur, because that's not what I planned to do. But I started with writing resumes for my peers. Anybody who needed a resume for a job or anything like that, I started with helping them write resumes. And then after that, I started hosting dance classes on the weekends for the young girls in my community. And then from there, I actually started taking the speaking serious. I hosted my first event in 2018 called the Female Boss Brunch, and I literally recorded myself speaking. I had somebody record me while I was talking. I posted it, and it got a whole lot of reaction, and I was like, oh. And then from there, people are emailing me like, can you come speak here? Can you come speak there? And I did not know what I was doing. I was like, okay. And and then from there, I took it serious, and I started actually researching what it took to be a speaker, to really be a speaker and make a career from this. And 3 years later, here I am.
Nice.
I was going to ask real quick. I was going to ask you, how do you describe inspiration? Because as I'm listening to you, I'm getting inspired. But what do you call, or what is your angle on inspiration, the term itself?
My angle on inspiration is being able to relate to somebody from a genuine place. Like, I want my peers, people in my generation, my age, because that is who I cater to. I want them to be able to look at me and say, okay, I can relate to what she's going through. I can understand what she's going through. I don't want to just inspire you and say, hey, get up every day and smile, because that's not reality. There's challenges that come with life. There's things that we're all dealing with, especially since COVID. Is a whole new ball game. So for me, it's like, I want to genuinely be able to connect to you. So that's why I try to really focus on things that I can relate to, and I try to get on topics and surround myself with people who can relate to what I'm going through or relate to what I've been through. So in that way, I can inspire you because I've overcame that.
So it's not a magic wand or hocus pocus.
No, I literally been where you are, and I know what you're going through, and here's the blueprint guide of what I used to get over this or to overcome this. And I'm not saying it'll work for you. However, I am saying try it. So that's how I see inspiration, because for me, it's like, it's not magical. Everybody's going through something different, and everything does not work for everybody. However, if I do have a blueprint and I put it out there to help people, somebody's going to be able to use it. Somebody's going to be able to get inspired, because it inspired me, it helped me. So why not pass that on?
Nice. And so 21 years old, business owner, tell us about that journey. Tell us how that is, because just business ownership in general, entrepreneurship in general is, it can have its challenges to it. And so to be such a young person and doing it. Tell us how that is for you.
It's a war. It's a war, and it's a natural war between wanting to really just be my age sometimes and wanting to really just be 21 and do all of the wild things that 21-year-olds do, and then wanting to own a business. And so I feel like everything for me is intentional. I constantly have to, and I think this is a life thing. At some point we all should be intentional about our decisions. But being 21, you're not expected to be. You're expected to just go out there, mess it up, and fix it later. And for me, it's like, I don't think I can do that. Like, I want to do that sometimes, and sometimes I don't want to be a business owner. Sometimes I don't want to be Diahni, the inspirational speaker. And it's like, that's what all of my peers see me as now. So it's like, they hold me to this standard that sometimes I do not want to be held to. And I have to remember, you put yourself here. You followed your purpose, you found your passion, and now you're here. So you do have to do the work, and you have to be intentional at all times.
Well, talk about a little bit more about you talked about intentionality. If we can elaborate a little bit more about being more intentional, intentional with what intentional in terms of your journey, number one,
right.
And also intentional for those who right now who are either the same age or even older or even younger
right.
about just being more intentional about planning,
and doing
for your life. Yeah.
So for me, on a personal journey aspect of being intentional, I feel like not that I can't make mistakes, but every decision I make has to make sense, and I have to be prepared for the criticism and everything that comes back with it. So for example, I have 10 tattoos. And I always use this example because this is one of those things that I used to fear to tell about because I didn't want anybody seeing me as unprofessional. I didn't want anybody not taking me serious. But I do have 10 tattoos. And for me, I had to be intentional where I got those tattoos, when I got those tattoos, if I decide to show those tattoos, when do I show them? If I'm at a speaking event, is it appropriate for me to show my tattoos? Do I need to wear something that covers it up so nobody really knows that I have them? Just to always cover myself. So on a personal aspect, that's where that intention for me comes in, because everything that I do for myself, and tattoos are something that is a personal decision for me, but however, it can affect my path. It can affect my journey if I don't maneuver right and if I don't make the right decisions with it. And then for anybody who just wants to be intentional and planning and doing things in their life, for me, I have to always sit down in advance and plan out whether it's my week, whether it's an event I have planning. Like I have an event I'm planning for February and I'm already writing down the ideas now. Why? Because I want it to be a success. I want people to get what they're looking for when they come to my event. So intentionally, I'm planning in advance. And for people in general, I feel like we should have that go-to plan. We should know how to sit down and to really put things into place for ourselves before we decide to just go out there and do it. I don't think that we're in a place right now where we could just go out there and just do it. I think that it does take time to sit down and say, okay, what are the pros and cons of this decision that I'm making? And for me, I'm learning that along the way. So it's a process, but it's coming together.
And so okay, Deen.
I was going to just ask to that point, how do you prepare for the challenges, or how do you, address the challenges when they come when you're not prepared?
So for me, I host a lot of events as well. I've been hosting pop-up shops, brunches, networking things ever since 2018. And so when it comes to the event aspect of planning, to prepare for the challenges, I always attend an event that's like mine beforehand. Before I host mine, I attend an event that's similar to mine and I see what goes wrong and what goes right. And then I use that and I learn the tools from that of how to plan mine out. And that's how I do, but I'm a natural planner as well. Like I'll sit down for hours and I'll just write down a whole lot of ideas, specifically how I want it, when I want it. So for me, I'm a little bit of an over organizer. So naturally, I try to avoid challenges. I really do. I try to have all my P's and Q's lined up, but sometimes that's inevitable. I haven't really came across a time where a challenge did come up for me like that. But if I did, I think that knowing me, I would definitely try to get all my P's and Q's in advance and just try to know what I'm doing before I actually jump into it. That's why I always give myself 6 months to do something really immaculate, because I do not want to just throw anything out there.
And so I noticed in terms of society in general, we have a lot more young people being intentional about planning and business ownership.
Oh, yeah.
And like my daughter is 16 and she has a jewelry business. And that's not something I did when I was 16. I wasn't even thinking about it at 18. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
21.
Right.
And so my question to you is, where do you find the balance? Because you talked about, not always wanting to be Diahni, the business owner, or Diahni, the inspirational speaker. So
Right.
how do you find the balance to still enjoy your youth and have that part of you that is responsible and forward seeing and, entrepreneurship, inspirational speaker, and just,
Right.
all of that? Yeah.
For me, I give myself a schedule. Like, okay, I know that Monday through Friday is work. It's me going to work. It's me being responsible, getting everything done on my list and not hesitating or holding back with that. And then I give myself leeway on the weekends. So for me, a schedule really works. Like, okay, I can be I can just be 21 and I can relax, and I can chill and I can do all of those things. I could be 21 and I can do that on the weekends. But Monday through Friday, I need to get these orders out. I need to make content. I need to promote. I need to do everything possible to make sure that I'm on my P's and Q's when it comes to my business. That's one way that I do that, how I balance the two. Another way I balance the two is I separate my friends as well. I have business friends and I have fun friends. And I have some who just can't mix with the other. So I definitely separate my company as well. I realize, like, okay, I cannot be around, like, I can't have that party friend around me on a Monday because you want to sit, you want to party and relax. And I kind of do have to be responsible and go into my business and do what I have to do. But I can see you on the weekends. So I definitely am intentional with company as well, which is hard. It's hard for me. I have a lot of different kind of friends, I believe, and I just like try to balance them all out. But I have to be responsible with that as well. Like, I can't spend as much time with you if I know that you're not on the same level that I'm on right now. And it's not even like a personal thing. It's just more me saying, I know what kind of friend you are, and I know where we can hang out and where we can't. And I know that if you may distract me, if I put you into my business schedule. So I try to maneuver the two.
Nice. I like how you brought out the point that you do have, and I think all of us do. We have people in our lives that fit into certain pockets, right? They fit into certain rooms for us, and it's important, especially when it's time for you to be about your business, to say, wait a minute, this is not going to work here.
Yeah. Wait, we have to.
It's my Friday, Saturday, maybe a little bit of Sunday friend, but that ain't my Monday to Friday friend. Yeah, so
exactly.
So I'm just glad that you pointed out, especially being a young person, and being conscious of that.
Yes.
That you have to, I guess, be observant of the people
You
in
do.
the atmosphere.
You do, because if you're not, you can easily be distracted, or you can easily find yourself in an environment you're not supposed to be in. And with that, I'm even cautious. Like I said, I have party friends. However, when we go to parties, I'm still 10 times more aware. I'm still 10 times more observant of what I'm doing. Am I drinking? What videos am I recording? Am I posting? You just have to be like that. And for me, at first, it was like, this is annoying. Like sometimes I just can't do whatever I want. And it's not because people are telling me I can't. It's just because I know where I want to go. And because I know where I want to go, I have to make those decisions to get there. Mm-hmm. And it's important. Every decision makes a difference.
I was going to ask you that because as I'm sensing what you're saying, I hear self-discipline, and I also hear self-determination, and I also hear like self-esteem. So like, how do they all connect for you? And where did it come from? Where's that source from? Because I hear you say like you're a natural planner. So what in your environment that made you like articulate how you,
my mom. My mom definitely helped me with that, because she constantly showed me that, every decision you make is on you. And so my mom, like, it's like, and my mom's always like, if you don't get it done, that's your problem. If you don't get it done, that's your problem. If you don't make it happen, that's your problem. If you don't believe that you can do it, that's your problem. So she constantly pushed that narrative of like, it's on you. If it gets done, it's on you. If it doesn't get done, it's still on you. But don't say that I didn't give you the blueprint, or I didn't help you put it together. Don't say that you didn't have somebody saying, come on, let's go, let's get it done. Take that responsibility. And I think once I gained that kind of responsibility for me, that's when I was like, okay, I got this. I got this. And it really all stemmed from last year, 2019, May 2019. I was hosting a Mother's Day pop-up shop here in New York. And the day of the event, the building that I was renting canceled the event on me. And I wasn't able to host the event after I've already had 45 women with businesses get ready for this weekend, and they also paid their money to be here for this weekend. So that changed my whole dynamic of responsibility. Even though I felt like I didn't do anything wrong that day, I still said, this is on me. Because again, there's still always something that I probably could have done differently. Even still to this day, I don't know what it is, but I do believe that there is something that Diahni could have done differently to help that situation smooth out. Something. And I think that's when I really got that bulk of responsibility and that bulk of like, okay, whatever you do from this day forward is on you. Whatever you do from this day forward, whatever chances you take, anything you plan, anything you put out there, anything you go for, you involve yourself in, Diahni, is on you. And I constantly remind myself that so I don't find myself pointing the fingers at anybody else.
So we talked about we're talking about your inspirational speaker. We're talking about your entrepreneurship, and for someone who is graduating high school or preparing to graduate high school, and they're looking to make that decision as to whether or not they either go to college or they seek entrepreneurship or they do them all together. Let's talk a little bit about that, because we always make, we're always promoting going to college, but we know that that's not everyone's
ideal.
And right. And so I want us to at least address that a little bit and to discuss sort of, having to come from high school and have that expectation, but have a whole nother path that's right before you.
So for me, I don't want to lead anybody down the wrong path, but I don't think I would be where I am today if I didn't take a semester off from school when I graduated high school. I do not think that I would be as far along as I am, where I am, or who I am right now in this moment if I did not take that semester off. I was supposed to go to college August 2017 because I graduated in June from New York, June 2017 from high school. I didn't go. I spent that whole semester literally trying to figure out what do I love. And the thing for me is that I don't think that you should jump into anybody's institution if you don't know exactly what you want to do. And the reason why is because I feel like you'll spend a lot of years and a lot of time going in circles, jumping here, jumping there, thinking that you're finding like this end goal or this end happiness or this end success at the end of the journey. And then when you don't, it's like all the life gets sucked out of you because you feel like a failure. But you didn't spend all this money. You spent all this time. You took all this stress for years trying to get through this institution thinking that it's the only way out. And then you find out that it's not even nowhere near what you really loved or what you were born here to do. And for me, I think that I would have been exactly like that if I didn't take the semester off. And I had to go against my parents. I had to tell them I'm not going. I had to tell them I need this semester to figure this out. I have to figure out what it really is. And through that semester, this is how I became an entrepreneur. So it's like I'm a living result of that. And so for me, it's like, I don't really say college, but I'm in college right now. I go to school. I go to a community college and I use it for my network. I go to college and I connect with people and I tell them about my business and I gain customers and I'm a part of a couple of clubs and I've been able to promote my brand there. And before COVID, I was going to host an event on my campus pertaining to my business. So if you're going to go to school, if you're going to work, if you're going to do something that's not ideally entrepreneurship, at least use it to the benefit of you. At least use it to drive or benefit your purpose. Use the network, use the financials, whatever's coming in, at least use that to be the reason why you keep going and you keep pushing towards what you love. Because I don't think that you're going to really find the success you're looking for if you go into an institution or you go into a workplace and you don't even know what you want. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know a passion, but they're throwing a degree at you. They're throwing a major at you and telling you to figure it out. And I just don't think that's ideal. And so for me, personally, I would say take a semester off, you know, but of course everybody's not going to do that. But I would say take a semester off if you're graduating high school. Take a semester off and really see what it's like to just be in life. Because, you know, once we transfer from high school and we graduate, go across the stage, we get a whole new open door of what the world is like. So I think it's like, take a semester off, work, you know, save your money, work, and figure out what you really want to do. I worked at a daycare for that semester, and throughout that time, I used that money to fund my speaking career. I used that money to fund my first event. I used that money to fund my first books. Why not? Why not? Why not? If you fail, it's on you. If you succeed, it's on you.
And I hear you basically saying, you know, you have to, whenever you do it, you have to take that time to,
you have to.
right, you have to take that time to like figure you out and do that searching. And I'll tell you, you know, I'm always encouraging college education, you know, but at the same time, I do understand that that's not going to happen right away for everyone. But I'll tell you my story. When I went to college, I remember in high school, I was in a business program. So, you know, for all those 4 years, everything was business. And I enjoyed it. And when I went to college, I also majored in business. And I remember my sophomore year, I was in a sociology class. And I loved it because I love people. I love helping people. That is just my thing. And I remember coming out of that class and calling my mother and being in tears because I felt like the first 2 years of college I possibly wasted because it may not have been a part of the path. It's like, oh, it's business. Maybe I should be doing something else because I love this other component of myself. And, you know, thank God for me, it all kind of comes together because my master's degree wound up being in nonprofit management. So then that, you know, it came together then.
Exactly.
You have those moments of who am I? What do I enjoy? Because the rest of my life is real.
It's real. Like high school is different. High school was a blueprint. High school was, we kind of laying it out for you. Just come, show up. Just show up and try. And we'll help along the way. High school, you had somebody holding your hand. Once you walk across the stage, nobody was holding my hand. And honestly, after I walked across the stage, and I had to really say, wait, what is the next 4 years going to look like? And I do not regret a thing about taking the semester off. Of course, there were a lot of emotions that came with it. I felt like I'm a failure. My friends are moving on. My friends are graduating and succeeding. What am I doing? Am I in the same spot? Am I stuck? You know, but look at me now. And it's like, I make 4 years of that decision of being out of high school next year. And I don't regret a thing. I've had so much fun. I've met so many people. I've helped so many people that I didn't even know that I could help. I wrote books in my name. I had shirts in my name. I have a company in my name. I don't regret a thing. You know, I don't regret a thing. And college came at the right time because now, last year I said, okay, I could go to a community college now and feel comfortable because I know what I want to do. So now this institution works for me. It's not working me, it's working for me. So it was just a great decision I really had to make, and I'm proud of it.
Excellent. I mean, I think
Thank you.
I think that what we're getting at too here is the fact that choice too.
Yes.
You know,
choice,
and people have choices, and you know, sometimes, you know, parents or, you know, teachers and others may give you what their choices may be because that's how they went about in their life, the choices that they made. And sometimes, you know, they may want you to become a doctor because they're a doctor, say for instance, but that necessarily might not be your choice. I'm just saying roughly that, for example, in reality, that is the case for some people who are listening. That may be the case for a lot of people that you deal with as well, amongst those other peer pressures as well. Like you say, you watch your peers graduate, go on to college, go on and, you know, do whatever they were doing. I'm saying, but meanwhile, you took a break. And sometimes, you know, that's what's needed is to take a break to reflect and do some introspective work. You know what I'm saying? To find out, okay, what is my next step?
What is my next step?
Right. What is my next step? Is it collegiate experience? Is it vocational school? Is it military? Is it this? Is it that? Maybe he's traveling the world. Maybe he's opening up a business like you have done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I definitely applaud providing choices to
Absolutely.
the younger, the generations that's coming up now, to provide them choices. They are choices other than the choices that people usually promote, and that's just the standard. You know,
Right.
And
so
when taking that choice, don't slack. Because
Exactly.
I think that's the disclaimer here, is that
Mhm.
whatever the choice is, don't waste it.
Don't waste it
No,
at all. And it's like, whatever you do, remember, if it works, not, okay, because that could be a little confidence damaging if you say, like, if it works, it's on you. If it fails, it's on you. So let me rephrase that. If you see results, how much you put out is what you get in. So if you're going to put in an hour a day towards your business, you're going to get an hour of results back. If you're going to put in 10 hours, a week into your business, you're going to get 10 hours of results back. So it's like kind of really saying you have a choice, and whatever you do, it's on you. And whatever you decide to do with that choice, just don't blame anybody else for where you end up. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, just don't say, oh, it's my mom's fault I didn't, graduate. It's my dad's fault I didn't start that business. It's my friend's fault. Don't say that. Once you make that choice of whatever path you're deciding to take, especially after high school, okay, it's on me. It's on me. I put in the work to see the results, or I didn't put in the work and I didn't see the results, but that's still on me. And it's not like beat yourself up kind of thing. It's like just talk to yourself, check yourself when needed, and keep going. Because beating yourself up won't get you anywhere. And for me, I'm learning that too. Like, calm down. You're only 21.
Right. That pressure sometimes.
Yeah.
But so I want to know about some of the exciting events that you've had. Tell us about maybe your favorite one. Oh, sorry, Bilal has something.
No. To your point, Marsha, we got a surprise.
We got a surprise. Yes.
Surprises.
Okay.
Here, so.
We having surprises on here.
Tell us a little about the shirt.
My first shirt.
I call the shots, period.
Yes. Wow, my first shirt. I did not even know you had that picture. Thank you.
Surprise.
So you said you want to just know about the different events.
The story.
Okay.
The story of the shirt, the first shirt that you did.
Okay, so that shirt right there, I'm the boss, I call the shots. I kind of did that during like a trending time. I was like, I saw like, okay, I'm trying to attract, the female audience and the female customers, and they all say period. And I'm not fond of the word period, but I was like, I am catering to them. Of course, I want them to be my customers. I want them to feel like that vibe of like, everything's not always, like really happy with business. Sometimes you can't have fun and be like, period. So
yes, you need a period.
Right. So I was like, okay, and honestly, I cannot stand the phrase. But I was like, this is what everybody's onto right now, and they're trending, and I want to attract them. I do. So I'm like,
it's not always you.
It's not always about me. And the thing is that I'm the boss. I call the shots. That is a part of me, though. The period part, of course, was towards my audience, and that was just the trend at the time. But I'm the boss. I call the shots. That's an affirmation. And I'm heavy on affirmations. I believe that just, a woman getting up every day and saying, I love myself is enough to boost her confidence and enough to help her keep going. So I'm big on affirmations. So every quote on the shirt is an actual affirmation. And the goal is when you wear the shirt, you start to feel that way about yourself. So I'm the boss. I call the shots. That kind of makes you feel good. And it can make you feel like, okay, yeah, I am in control of my life. I'm a woman and I do have say-so. So that was really the theme behind that. It was like, this is an affirmation, but it's also going with the times we're in and the trend, and everybody's saying period. So why not add it on to make it fun? So that's really where it came from.
Okay. She ain't down with the period poo. I have 3 daughters, so it's a whole bunch of period poo going on around here.
It's going on in my house as well. My sisters, it's all over the place. And I'm just like, stop saying that. But you know what? Say it, because it's actually, you guys are giving me ideas of what everybody's doing right now. So keep saying it. I can tolerate it.
Yes. So I don't forgot the first question I asked you.
No, the events.
Tell us about maybe your favorites. and why they were your favorites.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my favorite event. And is this events like that I've only hosted or ones that I've spoken at as well?
It could be both. It could be both. I was initially thinking that you hosted, but it could be both.
Okay, so two. I had two. One that I've hosted and one that I've actually spoken at. The first one I'll go towards is the one I hosted. That was last year. A couple of days after my 20th birthday, I hosted a vision board party. Okay. And it was a vision board party / pop-up shop. And honestly, it was just so fun to see women really sitting down at, in the morning on a Saturday, putting together vision boards. It was New Year. It's beginning. My birthday's January 9th. So my birthday's 8 days after New Year's. So it was like, I gathered all these women of all ages. They're sitting down at the tables. They're putting together vision boards. It's the new year, so it's fresh. And it just felt relieving and it felt fun to see, like, wow, we as women, amazing things do happen when we come together and when we do actually start focusing on our goals. So I just felt like I accomplished something and I really just changed the narrative. And then being able to give a space for women who are in business to showcase their products. I was just so proud. Everybody made money that day. People bought from each other. People were shopping with each other, made connects. And now to this day, I still have those same vendors that come to me and say, when are you hosting your next event? And so I was like, okay, I did make a mark that day because a year and a half later, 2 years, they still remember that day. They still remember that time. And that was my third event that I hosted, my first one ever in New York. So it was a big accomplishment for me. Now the second one, which I'm really, really proud of, and I hope that she does actually start hosting events again. I spoke at St. John's University last February.
Nice.
It was out of nowhere. A girl contacted me on Instagram. She said, hey, I'm a member of this club. I'm hosting this entrepreneurs mixer, and I'd love for you to speak. That's a big accomplishment for me, and I'll always remember that because that's a college. Right. And that's my first college, and and St. John's is a well-known college, and to me it's like, you're asking me to speak? Like, you want me there? Like, you want me to come as a speaker? And you're sure? Like, how you want me to be on your panel? Wow. And it just opened my eyes for me, like, Diahni, you haven't even seen the best yet. You have so much more coming. Keep going. And honestly, right after that, then somebody from Stony Brook emailed me and asked me to come and speak. And I think something happened that they stopped and their club shut down. But I was about to go to Stony Brook last year and speak. And it was like, I know that didn't just come from anywhere. It started with me saying, let's start here. Let's go to St. John's. Let's do it. I'm scared. I've never been to St. John's, but I don't know what to expect. I don't know if I'll really even help these girls, but let's do it. Nice. And those things just stay on my heart because they're just milestones. They show me how far I've come, how yes, I am only 21 and I've done that. And I've had so much more. And it makes me happy. It does. It really does.
So why women and girls? Why not just young people your
people
age?
In general?
Right. Or and I'm sure there's a reason behind it. So I'm curious to know.
Yeah. There's a big reason, and because remember what I said earlier when I said I genuinely don't want to just inspire you. I want you to be able to relate to what I'm going through. And I feel like the only experience that I had that can only relate to young people is my college experience. But everything else from affirmations to self-love journey to knowing your worth as a young woman to really making a difference between what relationship I'm deciding to get into. That's all things that I feel like I can only have that 100% genuine heart-to-heart with other girls. And it's like, I see what's happening to my generation of girls. Like we're being raised by Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and we're seeing a whole lot of things that really aren't positive when it comes to the way women are treated or how women are expressing themselves in certain ways. So I'm like, I want to be that living example because I am a girl. I feel like it's only right if I be genuine to other women and share what they can relate to with me from being a young woman. So it's like, I have no problem talking to young men. I have no problem helping young men. I have no problem, saying, come on, let me help you with your self-love journey. But how much can I really help you? When we start talking about guys and we start talking about, friends and sisterhood and things like that, I'm like, that's not really my thing. So I don't want to not overstep my boundaries, but I just don't want to ever become unauthentic. Like, I don't want to ever start speaking just because. I wanted to make sure that you can relate to what I'm going through and I can at least really help you. And with a young woman, I feel like I could help you more than I can help you. Man, it's just because I 100% don't understand guys either. I'll be honest, I don't. I don't.
Very complicated, girl.
So for me, it's like I'm trying to read you, I'm trying to understand you, and I just can't even relate. So let's not do that.
No, that's cool. And that's important to know where your strengths are, because that's really what you're saying. You know,
Yeah.
you want to operate from a point of your strength and or your knowledge base, and so
Yeah, and I always make it clear. I'm like, I cater to women, but over the years, I've had some male peers and family members who come up to me and say, you know, Diahni, you're inspiring me. Diahni, I need your help. I literally had a friend. He texted me and said, Diahni, I want to be a speaker. Can you help me? And I was just like, I don't do guys. Like, yeah, I can help you. I want to help you so bad, but I just wanted like it to be genuine. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm your teacher. I want to feel like we can sit down and every time you talk to me or you're getting mentored by me, it feels like a regular conversation. It feels like a sisterhood, and naturally women talk. And so for me, it's like I could naturally sit down with 10 women and have a real conversation and really talk about things that we all know that we all can relate to. And it's like with a guy, it's like, there's limits to that. I don't know. I know that that's not my strength. I know that that's not my lane. If it naturally comes and, you know, I host an event in the future and I get 20 males who buy a ticket, I'm going to welcome them. It's just, I'm going to make it clear, this is for women. I cater to women.
Well, I think that, so do you think, because I know that, you know, us brothers we can be difficult, you know, sometimes,
Right.
you know, us the male species can be difficult, and that's due to a lot of reasons, maybe with the person itself, also due to the society, the way the society is moving as well. And
Right.
people generally want to find inspiration where they can find inspiration. So if in case that there is a sister who's very inspirational, and brothers, you know, want to hear from a sister, I listen. I know some women friends of mine who I went to college with, and a lot of them are also inspirational speakers and etc. And I
Right.
listen to them, you know, and I know they cater also just to, they have organizations that cater also just to women or just to young women and empowering young women. But
Right.
I do like what the things that they share, because I think at the end of the day, enrichment and empowerment is universal. You know what
Right.
I'm saying, in the sense that, you know, we all gravitate towards it. You know what I'm saying, because it's natural that we all want to be enriched, you know, in some type of way. You know what I'm saying, to make change in our life, or to make change, you know, in certain habits that we may have, and change them to perhaps good habits from bad
Exactly.
habits. You know what I'm
That's true.
saying? So, you know, I just think that yes, we do need women to work with women, and we also need men to work with men, as well. You know what I'm saying? Because there are sometimes some conversations that may not be comfortable for both to be in the same space at the same time. You know, sometimes, you know, that's the case too. So we do want to, you know, recognize that too. But transitioning a little bit into we also saw that you do hair, or you have a hair business.
Oh, no, 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 no.
No,
No, no, no, no, no.
no,
I am the last person you come.
no hair. Okay, so explain what is.
she said,
Okay,
"Not
no, no, no.
me."
But
It's just your hair is a movement.
it's just your
That
hair.
I start.
Okay, explain that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. You don't do hair.
That's me my like
She was like, "No, no, no, and no."
Okay, you
my
don't do hair.
yeah,
Do
no,
you
no.
promote natural hair? Is that what
Yes.
you're relating to?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's
So
Okay.
go.
so remember how I told you that a part of my
Mhm.
journey has been self-love and
Right.
learning to love yourself within. I
Right.
went 20 years, I'm 21. So yeah, this just happened. I went 20 years hating my hair and
Mm.
thinking that I wasn't beautiful because my hair was not long enough and because my
Hmm.
hair could never be straightened to be that nice bone straight style. And
Hmm.
I covered my hair for 20 years. And truth be told, I was insecure, very, very insecure.
Mm.
And so 2 years ago in 2018, my hair was completely not growing. And I felt like I was just not beautiful enough. And so I started the movement It's Just Your Hair when I did a big chop, which is like cutting all your hair off, like not like completely bald, but like cutting it in a nice short style and starting all the way over. And that's where It's Just Your Hair came from. Because one day, you know, for me, it was like, it is just your hair. Like, okay, it's not, yes, it's there and it's a part of you, but that doesn't define your beauty or doesn't define your worth. And so I started that movement when I cut my hair and was like confident enough to show my hair. And then so from there, that's where I got a lot of other of my peers. They started sending me their natural hair pics, and they started their natural hair videos, and I posted it, and then we started this movement. It's just your hair. So it's like, it's just your hair. You're beautiful with it without it. And then so now, as you can see, I have
Yes,
locks now.
my lock system.
And I've had this for 7 months now. And that's just a part of the transition of like, now I can wear my natural hair out in public or on screen and feel just as beautiful. So that's what It's Just Your Hair is. It really is a movement to say, listen, love yourself and love yourself fully. And your hair, your beauty is beyond the texture or the length of your hair. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what society says is beautiful. You're beautiful and show it. And so it's like pulling girls, you know, out of their shells and, you know, send those pictures and those videos and flaunt whatever you have, because whatever it is, it's yours and you're gonna have to deal with it whether you like it or not. So that's where It's Just Your Hair came from.
Shout out to my lock sisters. I'm 16 years in, so
yes,
I'm 16 years in, so of course I'm always shouting out my lock sisters.
That struggle of our hair, like our hair is important to us, and when it's not right, nothing's right with us, and that's just truth. Like I had 20 years of feeling like I have to wear extensions, I have to always have my hair done. I did not go to school on the days my hair wasn't done. That's how bad it was. I was willing to miss out on education because my hair was not done, and I did not want to deal with anybody talking about me or saying something about me. And so I cut it off 2 years ago, and it was like, it's just your hair. It's just my hair. It's just your hair, and it's a phrase. It's a movement. It's a mindset. It's just your hair. Love it. Long, short, curly, coily. Love it. Locked, twisted. Love it. You know.
Well, you bring up a good point about hair, and I just want to tie this topic in, since we're on this topic of physical appearances, especially as it relates to women and even men, but specifically more women based, but men too. There is a clip, or there is a lecture from the Honorable El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X, where he's standing in front of the people, the crowd, the audience, the attendants, and he basically says, "Who taught you how to dislike yourself? Basically, how to dislike the color of your hair, the texture of your hair, your body features, etc." That was a preconditioning that a lot of our people went through slavery. You know what I'm saying? It's what Dr. Joy DeGury calls post-traumatic slavery disorder, with PTSD, what they call PTSD. And it's hard. It was hard to break away, or it's hard to break away from such brainwashing and such indoctrination that there was such an obstacle. It's such a barrier to hop over.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely applaud those women who stick with their natural hair. And it's not. I'm not saying that I'm totally against weave and all the things like that. I know it's a journey. You understand what I'm saying? It's a process. Everyone goes on the journey of self, and that journey as they go. And some may just like those type of things, which is totally fine if that's your cup of tea.
Exactly.
But I just know that don't let that be like, oh, I gotta do this because I gotta look like a white person or a white woman. Oh,
I have to do this.
I gotta do this to attract a man, because in the hip hop industry, that kind of lifestyle is promoted. Weaves and extensions and stuff like that. I gotta get this so I can get this man.
And that's how I used to feel. And that's why I was like, I have to do this. I have to start something, because I know that this is something personal. And it all ties back to what I said before, like how I can relate to you. I can relate to people. I can relate to young women who don't love their hair, who think that they're not beautiful enough, because I felt that way for years. And if you see, like, I can show pictures from my journey from all the way. I had every hairstyle in the book, from a braid to a twist to a weave to a this to a that. It's like every single time I did not feel like myself. And in this moment right now, in the last 2 years since I cut my hair to now, I felt more like myself and more confident in myself because I took it out and removed myself from it.
And so to that point, and not just about hair, but just to that point of having young girls having issues with the hair. You know,
Right.
Bilal talks about the Malcolm X clip where, you know, there's such self-hate for different reasons.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about what you are seeing out in the community that not just young girls, but women in general are dealing with or experiencing, or, you know, I guess what you see them struggling with that you do try to help them get over.
Okay.
Because I'm sure that whatever you're seeing in the group of women and young girls that you're working with exists all over the world.
All over. One thing that I really am seeing is that we are all struggling with this ideal of competition. I think that's the number one thing that I'm seeing.
Oh man, say it again. Say it again.
Yeah.
We are all
I know this
dealing
is Bilal's subject.
We are all dealing with this ideal of competition. And women, so, you know, supposedly, you know, more than men, I'm seeing it like we hate each other. We hate each other, and we don't see the damage that the hate is doing. We're seeing that as the new normal. We're seeing the fighting. We're seeing the, you know, your man, my man, his man, this man. We're seeing all of that as normal. And when you have the older women and you go in and talk to them and you're asking them for advice, it's like that's normal to them too now. Like they're not even giving encouraging ways of how you can overcome that, or how you can, you know, see sisterhood or really see true women loving on each other. It's like they have their own drama and beef with each other as older women, and the younger women are only just looking and just following the same path. I'm seeing it so much, and it's such a struggle, and it's heartbreaking, honestly. It's heartbreaking, honestly, to know that everything on the media, and everything just going on with people, period, is literally leading to that self-hate for each other as women. Like, we don't even protect each other anymore. We're against each other so much now. Like, we're ready to go at each other's heads. We're ready to hurt each other, laugh at each other. It's like we're laughing at each other's pains. We're laughing at each other's experiences. We're judging each other so much. You're afraid to even have a friend. You're afraid to even get close to somebody because you're afraid of what she may do when I'm not around her, who she may tell when I'm not around her. Is she trying to take my man or something like that? And that's so, like, damaging. And for me, that's why I wrote my book, Perfectly Imperfect, because I did that. I used to be in that realm. I used to contribute to the self-hate and the separation of women as a young girl, only, of course, being 19 or 20, but that's still no excuse. You know, knowing better is knowing better. And I used to, you know, not like a certain group of women because I thought, oh, who do they think they are? Or I used to be insecure, and I used to have arguments and go back and forth with women about guys. I did that. So other girls, I did that. So I wrote Perfectly Imperfect to just not expose that part of me, but to just say, look, I'm not perfect. I've done exactly that. I've been that same inspirational speaker that you know. Yeah, there was also a point in time where I was also very insecure, where I was also very judgmental of other women, where I talked down on other women to make myself feel good over guys. And so it's like, here's the blueprint of, like, me saying, I'm not beating myself up with what I did, and I'm not hiding from what I did either. Here it is, here's what happened, and here's how I've overcame it, and here's how I'm saying that I'm really about women empowerment now, because I really know that damage and what it does to both parties. So that's for me is important, and that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing, and those are the women I'm trying to help.
So what is the how does one combat that type of you know, spirit of competition? How does one combat that?
You need to spend a lot of time alone. I had to spend a lot of time by myself. I got off of social media for 6 months. I was off of social media, and at that time, it was me teaching myself a lesson. So I also took myself out of my business. I didn't take any speaking engagements for 6 months. This was all last year, from July 2019 to January of 2020. This all was that experience of where I was like, I got to teach myself a lesson. Let me get off of social media first of all. Let me get off of this social media platform first of all, and that's the first thing I did. Now that I'm off of social media, let me start really spending time with myself and figuring out what's really going on with me. Why am I so mad at this other woman? Why am I so mad at this other sister, this other queen? Why am I so venom? Why do I have venom towards her? Why am I carrying that spirit? Oh, my first problem. Okay, guys, let me get alone from that as well. Let me separate myself from that. Let me stop pinpointing a finger at somebody and saying, oh, it's her fault he hurt my feelings, or it's her fault I'm going through this, or she's trying to take him away from me. That mindset. Let me get myself out of that. So how do I do that? Get off of social media and start spending a lot of time with myself. I had to be alone a lot. And then after that, it was okay, what am I going to do differently? What's going to really make me different? What's going to really make me feel like I'm not carrying that spirit in my heart anymore? Apologizing. I think I've sent over 10 texts to the different women, the different young girls in my experience that I've gotten to quarrels with over relationships and guys and things like that. I sent them apology messages. Whether they accept it or not is not my business, but I know that I did that and I sent it. And, they may laugh at me or they may accept it. They may understand me. Either way, I got it off of my chest and I forgive myself. And once I sent those apology texts, it was like, I forgive myself and I forgive me. So I hope you forgive me as well. I hope you know that I was wrong. I hope you know that I know that was not inspiring at all of what I did or what I said to you at those times. And I'm not the same person anymore. Do I have to prove myself to you? No. But I apologize to you. I put it out there, and whatever you decide to do with it is that.
Yeah. And so, and I love that you said whether or not they accept it has absolutely nothing to do with me. I am such a proponent of that ideology. People need to understand that you do that for your growth.
Exactly.
You don't do it for, and if you're doing it for something else, then you're doing it from a place that's not going to be effective, because it's done for your growth. It's done for you to move to the next stage. So when you said that, it just resonated with me, because that's something that, as a mom, as a mom of daughters, I want my daughters to always understand that's clearing your sleep. That's putting your heart at ease. And the rest of it is not your business.
It's not your business. And it's like, once you get to a place where you say you're okay, you're mature enough to apologize. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about some young women that I've really head to head on with. Like when I was in my immature and insecure stage, we could have fought. I won't even lie to you. And I could have, honestly, this whole women empowerment thing could have went out the window. Right. And so for me, it was like, I have to do this. I have to say sorry. This may be the stupidest thing. It may be, they may laugh. They may say, they may say any of those things. But at least I know that on my end, I did that. And that cleared a feeling off of me, it released something off of me. Like, I'm not holding that anymore, and I'm not beating myself up no more because of that. Because I forgave myself, and I extended that forgiveness onto you as well when I decided to be mature enough and woman enough to apologize to you, whether I was 100% wrong or not. And that's another thing a lot of women have to get over, or people in general. Sometimes you're not 100% wrong. Sometimes it's not just you that was the problem. But if you're really looking for healing, if you're really looking for peace of mind, if you're really thinking about the aspect of forgiveness and moving on, sometimes you just do have to be the person having the say so of saying, look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry for what I said to you. I'm sorry for what we went through, and I'm sorry that you had to see me at that stage, and I hope that you can forgive me in the future. And honestly, I'm sorry. And honestly, for me, the young women that I apologized to, they gave me great responses, which I was shocked about. They
That's
said, you know,
beautiful.
thank you for being woman enough to say this, or girl, thank you so much. And now they respect me. They like one girl, she did tell me a couple of months ago, she's like, I respect you. Like you didn't try to flaunt it or fake it. You were real, you were raw, you were honest, and you gave your apology. And so now all I can do is respect you. I can't be mad at you for telling your truth. I can't be mad at you for saying I'm sorry. What am I gonna do? Get more mad? And I was like, you know, whether she said that to me or not, I was still okay with what I did, but it was like, okay, that's just a
That's
reminder
a
that
confirmation. Yeah. So you talk to us about perfectly imperfect. Absolutely. Go ahead, Bilal. Absolutely.
Can I just butt in just for 1 second?
Sure.
I just want to read to your point on forgiveness before we
Mm-hmm.
move on, and we start to wrap up our this conversation. But there is a saying from the tradition, the prophetic tradition in Al Islam. There's a saying about forgiveness in terms of people, and I just want to read it because I think it's very applicable to this conversation. It goes like this. It says, "I guarantee a house in paradise, in Jannah, in paradise, for one who gives up arguing even if he's in the right. And I guarantee a
mm,
house in the middle of paradise for one who abandons lying even for the sake of fun. And I guarantee a house in the highest part of paradise for one who has good manners." Just thought to read that.
Yeah,
mm,
no, that's absolutely that. I mean, that's absolutely exactly what we were talking about. I mean, and you know, we've heard the term or the phrase, "You just got to be the bigger person." Like that's real. You know that because some in certain
right,
situations, some people will carry things further than what they need to go. And so if you have the conscious mind to know, okay, this needs to stop, just take that
right,
liberty and go ahead and, listen, I
and move
apologize
forward with
and move forward. Right. But I was just
exactly.
gonna say, you just told us about the book Perfectly Imperfect. I don't know if I said that right.
Yes, you said it
Okay.
right.
All right. Tell us about the other two books as we start to wrap up.
Okay, so Perfectly Imperfect, that's the self-love guide. That's literally me sharing three different experiences that I've had with relationships with other, you know, young men, and just sharing the ways that I felt worthless and the ways that I just didn't know myself in those moments, and then the steps and the guides that I took to start loving myself differently. So that's Perfectly Imperfect. The other one is actually sitting right here. This is the A Boss Collection. It's my journal that I just came out with, and it's a combination of manifestation, business, and self-love all wrapped in one. So it
Okay.
kind of really starts off with the idea of what are your goals, what are things that you want to accomplish, and then it kind of slows down whoever the reader is or the writer at the time, and there's a couple of questions in there saying like, who do you need to forgive, or is there a person in your life that, or something in your life that you're still holding on to that's holding you back from living your dreams, holding you back from finding your purpose. So it's like a combination of just really getting the mind to think and getting people to think of the idea of what is it that I'm still holding on to, or what parts of me am I not really tapping into? What potentials am I holding back on? What situations or traumas am I still holding tight on, and how is that affecting me moving forward and really elevating, whether that's business, personal, or anything like that? So that's the journal, and that's literally something you can write in. It has a combination of quotes and different women entrepreneurs that I collaborated with. They shared a little bit of their personal stories and experiences with business and self-love. So it's just a flow. You get to read and learn at the same time, and write and also manifest your own ideas. And then I have Take a Risk on Yourself, which was my first book. I brought that out in 2018. It's an ebook. And that is another collaboration and collection of business owners, male and female, which is funny, male and female, and people that I've actually like known like from school and things like that. And I just asked them to write 3 or 4 pages of their story, share who they are, share why they started, and what's the top 10 tips that they would give to any other entrepreneur in their field. So that's literally like a resource collection. You can read Take a Risk on Yourself and get motivated. You could read Take a Risk on Yourself and learn about a little bit about an LLC, learn a little bit about owning a business, funds to start, you know, the stress and the mentals that come with a business. Take a Risk on Yourself is strictly that motivation business. A Boss Collection is a combination of both, and Perfectly
So
Imperfect is strictly self-love.
So how can people get those two books? Take a risk on yourself, the ebook and the a boss on
A boss
the
collection,
journal,
the
the boss
journal.
collection. How,
Okay,
yes,
so both of them are available on my website, the Female Boss Collection website or DiahniSample.net. They're both available on there, and Perfectly Imperfect is on Amazon. So
yes,
it's
yes.
really up to you. It's up to anybody how they want to go about it. But they're available on both websites. Take a Risk on Yourself is an ebook. You can read it on the computer, the phone. Have it to go with you. A Boss Collection is literally physical. Keep it with you. Write in it. Keep it. Hold it. Reread it. That's there as well. So they're both available on my websites.
Excellent, excellent. So we're gonna bring this
Thank
up one
you.
more time. Boom. There you go. If
Yes.
the female
I
boss
love those
collective boss,
colors.
Thank
yes, the boss
you.
collective journal becomes the best version of you for you by Diahni Sample. It's available on
Yes.
our website, the female boss collection.com.
Yes.
So go check it out. There's the ebook there too. Take a risk on yourself, which I think is important. This topic of risk. I just want to interject, since I like the topic. I like the title. Take a risk on yourself, because um, I don't think a lot of people, sometimes we may not be confident in ourselves to make a decision that
Right.
involves some risk.
Right.
And what I mean by risk, I'm not meaning risk to do something that's bad, or like,
That's bad or that's
I'm not.
dangerous.
I'm talking about
Exactly.
a risk that will a risk that will can take you over in terms of development for yourself, development to your
Exactly.
self development, your family development, etc., your community development. Sometimes you have to take a risk. And briefly, can you talk about the importance of taking that risk, and what does that look like?
So taking a risk on yourself for me personally, here we go back to taking that semester off from college. I feel like that's the biggest risk
Right.
that I ever took on
That's
myself.
true.
I feel like graduating in high school and really saying, Diahni, I don't care what your parents say. I don't care what your friends say. I don't care what the teachers say, the counselors say. Take a risk on yourself because something is telling you deep inside that you have to do it. Something is telling you that there's something greater on the other end. You may not know what it's like yet, and this is scary because you are literally going against the whole entire world. It's you against everybody right now. But take a risk on yourself. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It's like take a risk on yourself and be confident in everything that you decide to do. Terrible, like, but for me, that's what that looks. Okay, that's what
No.
that looks like. That's exactly what that looks like to me. It looks like doing something for you, no matter what everybody else says. As you can see, I know how to multitask, but yeah, that's what that looks like for me. And I brought up take a risk on yourself when I really realized that every decision I made from graduating high school to now has been me taking risks on myself, not knowing how they may turn out, not knowing where I may end up. And I was scared. I was scared when I took that semester off. I was scared to tell my parents I was doing it. I was scared to announce that I was doing it. I was scared to get up every day and just live in that moment of saying, okay, you're not going to school. What are you going to do? And that was a risk I had to take. And because of that, I'm here. And so it's like, whatever it is that's inside of you that's just like saying, it's talking to you, it's telling you it's time for a change, or it's telling you to do this, even though you're not too sure about it, do it. Because that one thing could literally change your life. That one thing could literally change your dynamic. And before you know it, you're happier, you're at peace, or you see yourself just flowing and living because you took that risk on you. And literally taking a risk on yourself is shutting out the opinions of everybody else around you. It's like talking to self. It's looking in the mirror and talking to self. It's looking in the mirror and saying, okay, I'm about to do this. We're about to do this. Us, me, myself, and I, we're about to do this. We don't know how this is going to turn out. However, we're down for the ride. And we're going to trust ourselves the whole way through. And it's like a self-talk, self-esteem, self-prep. And it's just taking a risk on you. Like, now that you said it, I love it too all of a sudden. But it's really it's a mindset. It is. It's definitely a mindset. I don't think that you can mentally take a risk on yourself if you don't have that confidence within. I don't think that you can mentally, I don't think that you can physically take a risk on yourself if you don't mentally feel confident enough to do that. So for me, it was like I had to be confident enough to do that. And whatever came with it, I'm down for it. It's on me.
Sorry about that. I just came back. I just got pushed back in the studio. You've been rocking. I mean, I've been tuning in, and we've been, me and the boys been just listening to you. Beautiful voice, powerful voice,
Thank
very
you.
instructional. I heard you mention earlier you don't deal with the brothers, but that's cool. But we definitely get the lessons from your language. So
thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Well,
I did find that clip, Bilal. Whenever you're ready, you want to throw that out there. If y'all want to give some commentary on it, I put that in there.
What clip? Which clip?
Brother Malcolm, we got some fire for you, man. If you want to touch it, I mean, y'all already passed it, but
we already touched it.
You already touched it.
We can play that on the outro, but we already touched it. I mean, I just threw it out there because of the context of what we spoke about.
Well, no, because it's a bigger issue behind it all, too. Not to regress back to that, but just the whole state of the society that we're in. This whole polarity of quote unquote ideological or political Republican Democrat war is really all that's been usurped by the cultural influence on, like you just said, growing up, not loving your hair and so forth and so on. Exactly. All in our environment, everything that we see contributes to that, and so absolutely. So we just want to touch on that. Yeah.
And just knowing where you come from as well, knowing that, okay, we do come from a history where we struggled, our culture was stripped from us, our roots were stripped from us. A lot of us don't know. I'm one of those African Americans who don't know genuinely where I come from. I don't know, where my family is from. I don't, besides the states, I don't know, exactly where we root from outside of the United States. However, but I'm here. And because I'm here, just being willing to learn. And being willing to learn everything that comes with it. And I think that's important. Like, that's business, that's personal, that's like naturally, period. Now I'm saying period.
I caught you on that one too. That was
It's life, and it's like just being willing to learn. And that for me, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna find out all the answers tonight. I'm not gonna find out all the answers tomorrow. But if I get up every day and he's willing to accept whatever comes to me, or willing to accept whoever's willing to teach me, at least I know that I am putting effort into my life, into finding out who I am and who I am to become and who I will be in the next 5 and 10 years, And it's not easy. We're all trying to figure it out. And I think that's just the main thing to remember, from self-love to business to discipline to manifesting. We're all trying to figure it out. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's that new freedom spirit right there. Y'all been listening live on the exchange.
Well, yeah, we just want to remind the audience as we close out. Thank you all for tuning in. Also share this stream to those, your friends, your colleagues, those who can benefit and may be of benefit to those who are watching now. We thank you all. Definitely check out New Freedom Exchange, like our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, check out, of course, our special guest, Diahni Sample. She's on Facebook. Diahni Sample as spelled. Diahni Sample on Instagram as well. Her books are on all her books are on femalebosscollection.com. So definitely give the website more traffic. The other book, is Perfectly Unperfect, is on Amazon, but we want to give the sister's website more traction than Amazon. I mean,
thank you.
They get enough.
Jeff Bezos already getting enough money from us as it is. So please go to femalebosscollection.com. Get a shirt, get a T-shirt, support the sister any type of way that you can. Yes, I'm saying we got to support each other, and that's really the most important thing. We're supporting each other. You know what I'm saying, and picking each other up, and we're grateful. We're grateful to the creator that you are using your platform for that, especially in the niche community that you're working with our beloved, beautiful sisters who need it. They need it. They generally need it, and I think you are a genuine spirit. To do that work.
Thank you.
We have a lot of spirits. We have a lot of spirits. We have a lot of people that do similar work, but again, I think that we're all not in competition. I think we definitely
collaboration.
We're in collaboration.
Exactly.
We want to call collaboration, less competition, because there's plenty of space at the table for all of us to get a piece of the pie.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying, I mean, Deen don't like me using the term "the piece of the pie."
Well, unless I do, I'll bring out the bean pot, man.
We gotta. Oh yeah, New York. Oh yeah,
freedom pie.
We gotta get you a customary New Freedom pie. You gotta try it. So
okay.
I'm saying, so stand by. When I get the shipment in, we'll deliver it to you.
Thank you personally.
You know what I'm saying? But
And Sister Marsha, can I send you a shirt?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
She
Of course,
dropping
sis.
gifts.
Of course. Of course. We take
I
all
will be
gifts.
right like this. Period.
Take all gifts. Yes, yes. Last closing remarks. Let's get some closing remarks then. Dean, you first. Then we end with the sisters, man.
Yeah, well, I was in and out, so I really couldn't
Yeah,
really
well,
enjoy the whole. I only got a
human,
sample of the sample. You know what I mean? So
but you have an excuse. You have a good reason because you're in the Human Development Center.
Hey,
So
no excuses, but I do want to give you a special shout. Thank you for coming in. You remind me of
Thank
a
you.
spirit of one of our pioneer sisters that long gone passed away. I think if she would have met you, she would see the glow and the beauty on your face and
Thank
the
you.
positivity, and that's what it's all about, right? Even if you get challenged, even if you get the negativity, still pushing through with your resilience and everything like that. And I do want to give
Thank
one
you.
special shout out to Sister Suad Alamin. Today's her birthday. If
Yes, I
she's
saw
Oh
listening,
that
yeah.
she's
earlier.
watching.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday. I was trying to
Yes.
find one of
Sarah.
her tracks to play for us on the way out. We'll see if we get that done. But
Yes.
appreciate you
Yes.
coming on, sharing your wisdom,
Thank
sharing your
you.
insight. And we're a fan. And you're home, or what they say, Mikasa Sukasa.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
welcome on our platform.
Thank you so much.
No
No, no
problem.
problem, no problem. I just think that today again was a beautiful exchange. We always on this platform trying to bring to you all exemplary people in the Afro American community, in the Afro American diaspora, in the diaspora. I would say that in the diaspora uh, that are doing exemplary work. And today again was just a prime example of that. And here we are with again another person who shares the struggle, shared the story with us that has value, that is relatable, and here she is doing the work that she loves to do most and enjoying her life, to the fullest, or trying to enjoy her life to the fullest. We all trying to do that, and she's successful, and also the mind the this the point I like to drive home always is being your authentic self,
Right.
and sticking to your authentic self. Who you are on New Freedom Exchange should be. We seen that Diahni now, but like if I see her in Queens, because I live here in Queens too, so if I see her on the block, I expect to, see her as as this. That's you never
Right.
change who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's my point. You never change who you are to benefit someone else or to fit in. You know what I'm saying, to what the societal or cultural norms are in the society. So I thank you for your being authentic, your authentic
Thank
self,
you.
and thank you for also sharing your narrative and your story with us and to the world.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I echo those sentiments. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
To our listening audience, I just want to say, oftentimes we talk about changing the narrative. Well, Miss Diahni Simple is changing the narrative. And the reason she's
Thank
able
you.
to change the narrative is because she's been able to push past some of those fears. And she'll continue to have to push past those fears.
Oh
So
yeah.
my encouragement for everyone, and believe me, when I say this, I'm saying it to myself first, is to move past those fears so that you get to your point of greatness. And after that, it's just going to be smooth sailing. When I say smooth sailing, I don't necessarily mean there won't be rocky roads, but there's so much joy and so much pleasure and so much you feel like a sense of gratitude too when you are able to get past some of those things that you thought were just so hard. Uh,
Right.
and you're proud of yourself,
Right.
and that's just a great feeling. So again, thank you for being with us. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
an example that we want to see out in our communities.
Thank you for having me.
Your closing remarks,
Oh, my
Miss
closing
Sample.
remarks. Okay.
Yes.
So first, I want to give this shout out to the Freedom Exchange. I actually think that the new Freedom Exchange, let me say it correctly. I
Oh,
think
please,
that
please.
I think that I think that you guys have definitely created a platform where not only are you exchanging great information through who you connect with on here, but you just exchange a mindset and just exchange the idea that we're all different. However, we all are trying to get some of the same goals, whether that's happiness, whether that's peace, whether that's success, whether that's just purpose and pushing and dreaming. I love the new Freedom Exchange. And so thank you guys for putting
Thank
this
you.
platform together and for believing in yourselves to put this together, because without you three and whoever else is involved saying, we're going to do this and we're going to dedicate to this, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have a platform to share with, with your audience. So thank you so much for that. And for anybody who just needs any encouragement, who just feels like, what's my next step, or where am I going, or how am I really going to get there? Can I really see myself as a success? Just remember that there's nobody else on this planet like you. And the thing is that we find ourselves in competition and compatible, trying to be like everybody else all the time. We see other people at a realm of success and we want to be there so bad, but you never know what somebody has to go through behind closed doors to get to where they are, whether that's success, whether that's money, whether that's love, happiness, whatever you may be. So what I'm saying is that, like you said, be yourself at the end of the day. Be yourself at the end of the day. Trust your journey at the end of the day. Trust your ability at the end of the day, and everything else will fall into place. And continue to love on yourself at every single moment that you get the chance, because there is only one you. You can't pour from an empty cup. And the moment that you find yourself being drained, or the moment that you find yourself doing too much, you find yourself losing little parts of you. So continue to pour into yourself, love on yourself, and trust in you, because you're the only person who's going to do it.
Excellent. Excellent.
Oh man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go play. I used to play football, so when you get ready, when you get in the locker room, you get that pregame, prep talk. You ready to go rock, man? That's what I'm ready to do right now. How we gonna end it out, Act?
No, we gotta do our last minute announcements, man. Come on, man. Come on. Stick to the.
Oh, that's
Come on,
one. I got excited, man.
you got too excited, man. You just provide the excitement for the announcement. So let's get the announcements rolling before we head on out. Let's do one more drum roll for our sister. Again, Instagram, Female Boss Collection. The website is also femalebosscollection.com. All the books, the ebook, the book, perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
A boss guide, correct?
A boss collection.
The boss collection also
Mm-hmm.
is on there, and take a risk. The take a risk book, which I like so much. I probably would end up buying some stuff myself.
Thank you.
Because again, the knowledge is applicable to all, so we just got to get this knowledge. So, female boss collection, get that. Also, check out the sister on IG, Diahni Sample. That's the IG. Check her out. Let's get to some of these other things in here, man. Let's get to some other things in here, man. Hold on, man. So
yeah, as always, we have. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, let's make it halal. Make it halal NFX for those who have halal products, meaning permissible products as slaughtered in as consulted in the Al Islam, in our way of life. We believe that animals should be slaughtered properly with the name, first of all, with the proclamation of the name of God over the animal before the slaughter, and then the animal should be raised with no hormones and etc. But also, if you make other products other than that, that are you want to get your certification with a stamp that says halal on it. You get your products to go domestic and international, according to the FDA rules here in America, and of course according to the European rules and regulations for international trade and commerce. So make it halal NFX. Shout out to the sister Nadia out of Maryland. She's a herbalist. She has her own COVID clinic. So for those who have symptoms of COVID, please consult Sister Nadia. She's out of Maryland, and she's a good person. Of course, we can't forget the patron for us, NFX Daily. We are trying to produce daily digital content, and we would love your support. Any support counts. We have several tiers on there. You can come in with some perks that come with your purchase of your tier. So check it out, patreon.com/NFX Daily. Also, the Bilal Trust. The Bilal Trust is our cultural heritage preservation project we are embarking on to preserve the history of the indigenous African Americans in this country, specifically the indigenous African American Muslim community, who's been here for such a long time, who goes, our lineage goes back to Africa. So Diahni Samples mentioned she wasn't too sure about her roots, but more than likely all of our roots at some point connect to the African subcontinent, the subcontinent of Africa, through the diaspora, through the diaspora at some point. So we have come across a lot of archives that we would like to preserve, and your donation will help us preserve those for the generations to come. Any amount will do. We not ask for a specific amount of donation, so whatever you feel like donating. Also, one last plug. For our next program. Do I have that flyer here? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. New Freedom Exchange presents Community Conversations. Topic will be on November 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern, live here on NFX, New Freedom Exchange, New Freedom Exchange YouTube, and Twitch. We are streaming on Twitch at NFX Streaming. Developing the community plan, building family life, avoiding manipulation, and developing the economic development. This is where our guest host, Imam, our brother Rashad Abdul Rahman from the Atlanta Masjid of Al Islam, named TL, and our beloved brother will be joining us. Special guest from We Buy Black, the founder himself, the CEO, founder, Howard University alumnus. Shout out to Sister Marsha. You know, she likes that. Sharif Abdul Malik.
I love it. I don't just like it. I love it.
Sharif Abdul Malik will be with us to share his story and to share what's going on with that as well. Also, one more thing we forgot. I have to pick up Sister Misunderstood, Sister Tavasha Shannon. She's also from Queens, New York. One of the first, the first female Muslim, Black Muslim MC coming out of Southside Jamaica, Queens. She's in the building. She sends peace and love to everyone here. But also, she has made the front cover of Vogue Arabia. Her Sister Bashia, who was another guest out of New Jersey, and Sister. Also, our sister from California, Sharif. What's her first name? Oh man, it's escaping me. She's probably gonna kill me. But anyway, check out the magazine, Vogue Arabia. Shout out to Misunderstood. Also, if you have not seen the movie, for mature audiences only, the 40-year-old version, which just came out on Netflix as well. Misunderstood is in that. Shout out to the producers.
Oh man, that's a great one.
Yeah,
you guys see that.
Yeah, shout out to Misunderstood, who appears in this film, and shout out to the directorship and the whole team of that film. It was a good film.
It was awesome.
Dean, do you have any other last announcements before we sign off with some good songs for the people? You're on mute. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm mute. I was gonna send that, get that knowledge joint, but I did have the announcement of the Muslim Journal.
Which was,
did I send you that one? Did it go through?
Oh man, you sent it to me, but I don't know if you have time.
I'll put it in the link. It's a launch good. One of our founding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll share it. We'll share it on the page, the Freedom page, and then we'll also share it on our next show, which will be forthcoming soon. But definitely launchgood.com Muslim Journal /Muslim Journal. I think that is. If you type in Muslim Journal, launchgood.com. The Muslim Journal is one of the oldest African American Muslim-owned newspaper in this country, formerly known as the Muhammad Speaks newspaper from the Nation of Islam. It's made its transition over to various different growths of development, stages of development, and right now we are asking people to give generously also to that because, as you know, due to COVID-19, a lot of people are suffering, including our African American owned small businesses and our schools that we own and operate, and also our media outlets as well. So we want to give to them as well generously as well. So.
And the sister's name is Aliyah Sharif. I don't want you to get in trouble.
Yes, thank you. Don't get me in trouble because I'm trying to bring the sister.
Yes.
On. So inshallah, yes, God willing, Creator willing. But yes, that's it, Dean. That's it.
That's it. We're gonna hit that Malcolm reminder of who taught us, and let's learn our research and let's knock out these false narratives. We love what our sister's doing. It's fit your hair. Or just a 1 minute clip of him bringing to our consciousness to think. You got to think.
But what music track we're going to play after that?
Oh, get that knowledge, man. Come on, man.
Yes.
Bashia.
So we're going to introduce the sister to Sister Bashia out of Newark, out of the Jersey area over there. She lives around Newark. She's a good sister. So we want to stay tuned so you can listen to the whole song and enjoy, please.
Peace. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Who taught you, please, Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Negroes in this country are confronted by is with a re-education program, not a re-education program for whites, but a re-education program for black people themselves to eliminate the negative image that has been through propaganda instilled within us of ourselves since we've been in this country. It'll take an entirely new approach to restore some kind of racial pride and racial dignity in the minds of the black people. And once we have this pride and this dignity, we can get the cohesiveness and the unity and harmony necessary to solve our own problems here in the black community instead of waiting for representatives of the white community to come uptown and solve these problems for us.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
I'ma tell the youth not be and despairer. Yeah, what's the move with it though? Ho, gotta show some proof with it though, so they could be in the know. Go be that glow. Why be weak, queen, come true, grow. Why be weak, queen, come true, grow. You know that the truth has been here. Don't worry about them, this for your soul. Study to make them intentions clear. Bust true queens, break the molds. Growing pains and shed all them tears. Cleaning pains, heavy flow. Levels like this, hand them tears. I'm on point, stay on my toes. Still be kind to all these foes. Got no time, my soul got go. Go. It's way ahead, yo, you ain't no 5 trees, let's go, get that cold. Queen gon' get that knowledge. Queen gon' get your knowledge. Queen gon' get that knowledge. Queen gon' get that knowledge. Queen gon' get that knowledge. Queens every day, always, yeah. Queens all day, we slay, yeah. Queens, know me. Queens, you get them queens in a building, you feel me? Queens in a place to be right now. Queens, come get that night, come get that night. You say that you a queen, but really do you research? Better go and get that knowledge or it will just hurt. The fact that you don't know your worth and it's been hidden under turf, and how you will never know unless you get up and go.